Welcome to News Around Town. The focus of this program is to provide you with an update on projects and initiatives taking place in the city of Fort Wayne that are designed to benefit you. I'm your host, John Perlich, Director of Public Information for Mayor Sharon Tucker's office. The 2026 budget season is here, and recently Mayor Tucker and City Controller Pat Roller announced the proposed 2026 budget for the city of Fort Wayne.
Well, good morning, everyone. I want to thank you for being here with us, and I am excited to be able to present to the public the budget for 2026. But before we share that, and before I introduce Controller Pat Roller to the podium, I do want to share a few comments with you. One, that I want you to know that Fort Wayne remains in a strong fiscal health. My administration today will share with you our proposed budget for 2026. Our budget calls for investments into neighborhoods and into neighborhood improvements, for parks and recreation enhancements, and providing service and proper funding to public safety. We want to make sure that the city of Fort Wayne continues to be a safe place that is family friendly and fun. I will highlight a few things that we are identifying in our budget this year to make sure that we continue to invest in. There's going to be $4.5 million invested into our streets, roads, bridges, and sidewalks, alleys, and trails led by our Public Works Division. We're going to continue our investment in maintaining projects through the Parks and Recreation Department. Somewhere around $4 million will be that investment. And our commitment to making sure that we keep the city of Fort Wayne strong and safe. We will welcome our 70th recruit class for the Fort Wayne Police Department, as well as community engagement programs and new technologies, because we believe in the safety of our community through the work that Fort Wayne Police Department does. We also want to maintain our commitment that we announced earlier this year to our Fort Wayne Fire Department. That commitment to reduce the volunteer overtime hours by adding 2 recruit classes, one starting in December and another in January. So you will see investments go there, as well as upgrades to vehicle safety and enhanced technology for the Fort Wayne Fire Department. Now, we recognize that SB 1 has been a topic for a while for many communities in the city of Fort Wayne as well. We expect that there will be pressures that will happen because of SB 1, and we now know exactly what that input will be on the city of Fort Wayne's budget. Before Pat comes and tells you that information, I can tell you that I have made some decisive decisions on things that we need to do within our budget to make sure that we are keeping the city of Fort Wayne growing, safe, and that those who have become accustomed to amenities that the city has been able to offer continue to see those amenities provided. But I would be remiss if I did not tell you that the city is going to see some drastic impact because of SB 1, which is why I took the leadership decision early on to form an SB 1 task force so that we can have conversations and talk about the challenges and obstacles that we will experience. I am personally sitting on that committee so that I can bring the historical experience that I have from my time on Allen County Council, Fort Wayne City Council, and all of the experience with budget throughout my career to the table. And I am glad to be part of that conversation. We are experiencing unprecedented times because of the SB 1 budget and the passing of such. Over the next month, my administration and I will work with city council members to pass a budget that meets the critical needs and helps sustain the growth of our city. As a community, we are in a great position because of past and present decisions that have been made, and we're working together to make sure that the impacts of SB 1 are mitigated in conversations. It's important to me that we continue to grow our city. We have one option, and that is to continue keeping Fort Wayne moving and the positive momentum that we have seen and experienced over the last several years. And so we are looking forward to having deep conversations with council, deep conversations in the task force, and making sure that we are doing everything we can for our community. I will also add that this is my second budget as mayor, and I'm impressed and continue to be impressed with the dedication of our leaders and our team within the city of Fort Wayne. I sent the budget back to them several times, asking them to sharpen their pencil, and each time they sharpened their pencil and came back with better numbers. And I know it is challenging for them because we have work to do, and we're asking them to do more with less. But I want to thank our team from the Controller's Office and our division heads for their dedication and their commitment to making sure that Fort Wayne is the best city that it can be. I personally believe it's the best city in the state of Indiana. It is our goal to make sure that we are a family-friendly and fun community, and that we are also safe, and that we continue to look at enhancing the quality of life for all of our residents. And I believe you will see that in this budget, in spite of the SB1 shortfalls that we will have. And now to share those details with you and give you more information on just what the budget will reveal, I would like to welcome to the podium Controller Pat Roller.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, it has been a difficult budget, to say the least, and I really want to thank you, Mayor, for all your leadership and decisiveness in helping come to this budget, because it was not easy. I'd also like to thank the division heads, and I'd like to thank the finance managers that do a lot of the hard work, because we did go back and forth several times and to get these expenses as low as possible. Due to Senate Bill 1, the state is estimating that the city will lose $25 million in revenue due to circuit breaker. Last year, the budgeted number was 11.5 million, and now it's 25 million. So that tells you the difficulty that we had to deal with. The property tax supported expenses, including the LIT from public safety, are $245 million. The total expenses proposed in the 2026 budget is $800,000 less than the 2025 approved budget. The city is also proposing an $8.8 million, proposing that $8.8 million be taken out of the cash reserves so that we're able to continue to fund the vital services for our community. Having said all that, we do have some positive things to talk about in our city. The local assessed value has continued to rise. The city has been fortunate to have had steady revenue streams that has allowed the city to maintain a fairly large cash balance. And this has happened over the past several years, and it's, again, because of the good fiscal management of the city and city council. But it is through this strong fiscal management and in partnership with city council that the city's cash reserves will be able to respond to this difficult time. My team and I will be presenting the budget to City Council during their meeting on October 7th. But I'd like to add to the mayor's point earlier about Senate Bill 1. That task force is going to be critical as it determines how we are going to work through these Senate Bill 1 issues. And it's not something that we can do today. It's going to take us longer than I think people think, but it's not going to be easy, because this does go through, it touches every component of our city, and so we want to make sure we have a thorough evaluation of all that. So those are the end of my comments. Anybody have any questions for the mayor or for myself? Here, Mayor.
Stay right here with me. Yeah. So you can see that we have anticipated that there will be some drastic changes for what we would consider our standard or normal way that we finance government. And our team is turning over every stone, looking at every option to make sure that we are able to do what we do best. And that's care for the residents of the city of Fort Wayne, provide the best amenities that we can provide, and be able to give you services seamlessly through this downturn in revenue. We will continue to have conversations, but we will share with you that government will change, and we are planning for that through our task force. And so with that, we will take any questions that you may have at this time or individually so that we can make sure you are fully aware of what we plan to present to City Council on October 7th.
Budget discussions with City Council will run through the month of October, and Council is expected to pass a budget on October 28th. The arts community continues to grow and succeed here in Fort Wayne. Mayor Sharon Tucker took part in a dedication ceremony of a new sculpture for the I Am Allen project at Reservoir Park.
Good afternoon, folks. Thanks for joining us. My name is Emily Almodovar. I'm here on behalf of the Allen County Board of Commissioners, Rich Beck, Therese Brown, and Ron Turpin. But a key partner in all of this was former Commissioner Nelson Peters also. We're so glad that you folks have come to help us dedicate really one of the last of 15 sculptures across Allen County. It was a legacy project commemorating our 200th anniversary in 2024. The I Am Allen sculpture project, it's one of a kind in Allen County. It's a public art series that's placed strategically across the entire county. It ties different communities together with a common thread being the shape of the sculpture and showing our prominence here in Northeast Indiana. Yet each piece is unique. They are painted with scenes that capture specific attributes to the different communities in which the sculptures live. The 15 sculptures were all placed outdoors, to be enjoyed in high-profile areas. We have a sculpture in Harland, Hoagland, Zanesville, Monroeville, Leo Cedarville, Huntertown, Grable, Woodburn, New Haven, and several in Fort Wayne. The Bicentennial Sculpture Committee, Irene Walters is here. She was our chair. They worked with community members so that each community would develop a creative brief. And then the artists took that creative brief to illustrate the history and points of pride for that neighborhood. We believe that public art is an essential building block in economic development and quality of place. And our lasting legacies, we wanted to provide an interactive public art feature for these different communities so that we could promote awareness for that historic 200-year milestone. Today we actually have posters of all of the legacy projects. Visit Fort Wayne has those. An example is here next to the sculpture. They're only $2, so cash and carry, or they brought a card and you can go home with one of those commemorative posters. Now, I am very pleased to say that we've got our 37th mayor with us. Mayor Sharon Tucker took office in April 2024. She's a proud member of the Zeta Phi Beta sorority, AVOW, which is Advancing Voices of Women, and there's a gal here in my AVOW class, and the NAACP. Tucker has also volunteered on the boards of directors for the Allen County Public Library, Alliance Health Clinic, and SEED. In 2021, she founded and launched Project Active Southeast Fort Wayne, a training and pitch competition designed to help entrepreneurs start their businesses and spur economic development in Southeast Fort Wayne. In 2014, she formed the Women in Politics Forum, an annual forum focusing on empowering, engaging, educating women on the importance of being involved in politics. Mayor, I will turn it over to you.
Okay. Thank you.
It's a little sweaty.
Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. So glad to be able to stand before you to dedicate the statue that we have today. This is one that the city of Fort Wayne helped fund with our proceeds to be able to help celebrate Allen County's 200th anniversary, or their bicentennial. And I can tell you, when Irene came to us and asked to support the initiative, after a little bit of arm twisting, I said absolutely, on one condition. And that condition is that I wanted it to be placed right here at Lorez. Yes. And the reason being is because I know the thread and the fabric of the community that exists here, how dedicated they are to this community. We also know that hundreds and hundreds of cars pass by this corner right here every single day. And this dedication would have an opportunity to be seen by millions of people. So with the partnership of a bench that used to sit here being removed by the parks, thank you, right? We were able to place this statue here so that everyone can see it and see the thread and the fabric that makes up the Lorez neighborhood. And it was one of the first staples for southeast area of Fort Wayne. I believe on the other side it said 1819 the neighborhood was formed, and we wanted to be able to give credit to this neighborhood and the residents of the kind. So I am thankful to Irene, I'm thankful to the board. I see Representative Giaquina is here with us as well. Other board members, thank you so much for allowing us, the city of Fort Wayne, to be a part of this and having our dedication be seen by millions of cars that drive by every day. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now I am pleased to introduce Alexandra Hall. We were so fortunate to have a local artist who specializes in public art as a consultant. She was on the Bicentennial Sculpture Committee, and that was just such a godsend. Alexandra Hall is a maximalist, large-scale professional painter, muralist, and illustrator. Her company, AH Public Spaces Consulting, has executed more than 300 public art and placemaking projects in both rural and urban settings. They strategically leverage the power of public art to change the character and purposes of spaces in the public and private realm. Thank you, Alex. I'll turn it over to you.
Hello all, thank you so much for being here. I did get the opportunity to work with both Pat Turner and Bonnie Andrews on this particular project, as well as Fort Wayne Parks and Rec. Thank you for pouring the concrete pad for us. I do want to first introduce Pat Turner. She is a neighborhood association president here. And as Emily early mentioned, we had made a real effort to ensure that each of these 15 pieces was informed by the place in which it was going to be installed. So that meant a lot of community engagement. That meant finding the person that might be the right fit for developing a creative brief and creating this vision for what the artist then might interpret into a work of art for that community and that town or that city to enjoy. So Pat Turner was key in connecting with the neighborhood and ensuring that the creative brief that was handed to the artist was well informed, and it definitely holds lots of features that were included in that brief. And so I have the pleasure of introducing to you Pat Turner.
Thank you so much. Thank you all for coming today to help us celebrate this dedication. So about 30 years ago, I wanted to purchase a home, and I purchased a home in Lorez. I could have gone anywhere else, but I wanted to be in a community that was very diverse and also that was very cost effective. My home is a nice home, but it didn't cost $1 million, so I was pleased about that. Lorez has a lot of history. Actually, my home sits on the same plot of land that Hannah School used to sit on that I went to, so that's another really fun fact. What I love about Lorez, I love that we are within walking distance of downtown. Instead of buying downtown, come on over to Lorez. You can still walk to downtown things from here. We have lots of amenities. It's just a really good place to live. There's lots going on in Lorez. There's lots of new things going on South Calhoun Street. And we love Reservoir Park. Lots of tournaments have taken place here, basketball tournaments. We actually have one of the founders of the basketball tournament here today. And there's a fishing derby that happens here every year. And this year there were actually 2 fishing derbies. If you ride around, you'll see some signs that said, "We love Lorez," and truly, we do love Lorez. And so we're so thankful to have this sculpture in our park. Thank you. So I think I'm introducing Bonnie. All right, Bonnie. And let me tell you, come on, Bonnie. So let me tell you a little bit about Bonnie. When I heard that Bonnie Andrews is going to be creating the sculpture, I'm like, I know a Bonnie Andrews. And sure enough, the Bonnie Andrews I knew was the grandmother of this Bonnie Andrews. And so that even makes it more special. So Bonnie Andrews.
Yes, Bonnie Jr. I love that my grandma has did so much history in Fort Wayne. If you got to know my grandma, Miss Bonnie Andrews, you knew she was about business. So it's just an honor to just carry her name and our legacy together. So she was 90, so she did her first 90 years, and I'm on my way to my first 90 years. So I did write a speech. Can you hear me? Okay. So thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. It's a nice, beautiful, sunny Monday. I would like to thank God for blessing me in many ways that He has. I'm thankful to be a part of this historic moment, not only for myself, but for Lorez neighborhood, the East Side, and the Southeast of Fort Wayne, and most importantly, the art community. Thank you to the committee team, to Alex and to Pat Turner for choosing and trusting me to be a part of this project. No words can truly tell you how I felt when I was notified about being one of the selected artists for this. I wanted to make the Southeast Love mural represent a lot of things. Of course, community and family, but I also wanted to represent history, power, and truth. I wanted the mural to catch the community's attention with vibrant colors, but find a deeper meaning in the piece. Do you see yourself in there? You let me know. Not just the faces, but the colors and shapes that were used. Again, you let me know if you see yourself in there. Art is like a mirror, and it reflects on who you are inside. I would like to give a special shout out to my boyfriend for helping me with the mural, Ro Holman, right over there. He had no choice. I had to put him to work. But I can talk all day about this mural and the process. But thank you all again for choosing me to be a part of this. Thank you to my family who's here, to the artists and the community that I just met along the way. Keep supporting the arts because it's important in many different ways. Our job is to create vibrant atmosphere. So acknowledging this today is just one step closer to another acknowledgement tomorrow. So thank you all for supporting me. Thank you for supporting the Allen County community, and thank you for today.
Thank you, Bonnie. Awesome. So before I close, there are some people that I need to thank because things like this don't happen in a vacuum, and one human could never leverage all of the resources that have to be done for this. If anybody is here from the Bicentennial Committee, would you come up and stand here real quick, just so that we can recognize the people on the front end? This group met for more than a year, and we had lots of other committees as well that did the bash and the sculpture project, and these legacies are here for us to enjoy for many years. We also want to thank the bash committee and Visit Fort Wayne. They were a huge partner. Greater Fort Wayne, the Fort Wayne Community Foundation, the New Allen Alliance, Alexandra Hall with AH Public Spaces, and then our title sponsor that really made a lot of things possible was Hanning and Bean, and so we're so grateful for Hanning and Bean. And then, as Mayor Tucker shared, they were the hero sponsor for this particular sculpture. We're grateful for Fort Wayne and want to thank and recognize the help of Fort Wayne Parks and Rec in placing some of the Fort Wayne sculptures within the Fort Wayne city limits. We want to recognize the Allen County Highway Department. They transported all of these from the artist's home to Kelly. And then Kelly Automotive clear coated these so that they will last. And then we also obviously want to thank Bonnie Andrews for this beautiful thing. And truly, thousands of people will see it every day. So thank you so much. And then for all of you, this is what community looks like. Thank you for coming.
Another arts update for you. The largest mural in Fort Wayne is now at the Electric Works campus.
Welcome everybody. Thank you so much for coming out on this wonderful day that we like to celebrate a significant milestone in the progress of this project. My name is Kevin Biggs. I'm one of the developers of Electric Works, and today marks a really important milestone of celebrating as we're seeing this beautiful mural come together on the parking garage. And also I'd like to give some other updates and milestones here that we've accomplished around phase 2 of Electric Works called the ELIX. Surrounding us are these beautiful apartments that we're starting to deliver now to the public. Our contractor, Larry Wygan, started turning over some units to us in July. We've started moving the first residents into the building here to my right, starting the first part of August. So we're super excited to have residents here on the campus now. Leasing has been going fantastic. We've got some urgency and call to action for anyone who wants to explore this beautiful downtown living environment here at the ELIX, a wonderful amenity package. We've got some limited units still available that start as low as $1,111. About 20 of those units left here in building next to Broadway. And then we're going to have the rest of the buildings over here to my left, or this building and the rest of the units coming online starting in December and leasing up through the first part of next year. So really excited about finally bringing this element to life on campus, which is the living environment, to complement all the other great uses that are behind me in phase 1 of Electric Works. So I'd like to also share with you Mayor Tucker is here with us today. Super excited to have Mayor Tucker help us celebrate this event here. Mayor Tucker and I got to know each other as she was on City Council, and we had many meetings both within the council chambers and probably more importantly outside the council chambers of talking about this project, and I was so grateful to get to know Mayor Tucker during that time period and really understand her heart and vision for the community. And I really appreciated her inspiring us, holding us accountable, and really striving for us to achieve excellence as we were thinking about trying to make this project happen. And she really came through in support of this project when we needed her most. And so her, along with many other people within this community, supported the project at a critical time for this to come to happen. This project had many opportunities to fail, but it was the support of the community and folks like Mayor Tucker that really helped us succeed. So Mayor Tucker, thank you so much for being here. I'd like to turn it over to you.
All right. I laugh when Kevin says we had many meetings and held us accountable. Yes, we did hold each other accountable because you know what, the one thing we agreed on is that we wanted to be able to deliver the community a really good project, high quality, great opportunity, and in terms of housing, to make sure that we had a space for all, where everyone had an opportunity to be able to take advantage of affordable housing. Those who could afford a little bit more have an opportunity to have a little bit mid-level housing, and then a high-end level of housing included in a project where no matter what range of income or rent you would receive the same benefits. And I think that you all are capitalizing on that goal, and that you're doing the work that we all had in our meetings, both private and publicly, to be able to deliver a project to the city that would be something that we all would be proud of. And so I am very glad to stand here before you first to commend Damian Miller. Mitchell? Well, how about I get Damian Mitchell, sorry about that, dear. Sorry about that. I wrote down Miller. I apologize for that. Damian Miller on the newest and largest mural in the city of Fort Wayne. So this vibrant tapestry shows just how dedicated we are to our arts in our community. You can walk around the city and you can see different murals throughout that speak to the connection that we have for having art in the community. But this is now the largest mural in our city. And if I'm a little selfish, I would say it's one of the prettiest murals. Isn't it cool? It's pretty awesome. And it wraps around the building completely, or at least the front side, back side. I think it's awesome. I think it's beautiful. Thank you for picking us and us picking you to be able to have this partnership. And I'm also excited about the ELIX and the housing units that are coming on. I had already expressed that we wanted to make sure that we provided a space where everyone had an opportunity to be seen, and we are creating that goal. I can't wait to be able to walk inside and just see how wonderful they are. All residents will have access to the amenities no matter where they are. Electric Works is providing food, entertainment opportunities, music opportunities for people to be able to participate in. And in some spaces, they're providing work spacing for other individuals. So you are becoming a community staple. Congratulations on the awards that you've received. That's pretty awesome. And thank you for choosing the City of Fort Wayne to continue making investments. I'm honored to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. So I've really enjoyed seeing the progress. So my office is over here in Building 19. So I've been able to look out over the past month and see the work being done. It's been absolutely amazing to see the work that Damian has achieved so far. And so, Damian, I'd love to have you come up and just tell us a little bit about your work, the mural, what it means to you, and how you came up with the design.
Sure.
All right.
Hey everybody, my name's Damian Mitchell. I'm the artist who's been painting this wall for the last 23 days. Look, this is a big project. I think it's the biggest one by square foot that I've painted. And look, thanks to Fort Wayne for having me. You know, it's been a really great trip for me. Everyone's been super supportive. Everyone's, had a kind word to say about the mural, or bought a coffee or some lunch or whatever, and it's really helped me along the process. A wall this size doesn't happen by itself, the city's been putting it together for a while, but I've also had some personal help. I had an artist named Vince Ballantyne come out for a week to help me paint, but I've also had some local artists. Shout out to Hannah and to Bernadette and to Crystal, somewhere in the crowd here, who've put in long hours, tedious rolling walls, but it's all part of that process. It's all something that needs to be done to get a wall of this size made. Thank you to Alex, of course, who's put this whole project together. I've worked on many projects over the years, big and small, and you can tell when one's run by someone like Alex, who knows this job and all the problems that could come in. She's had to jump on all of them, so it's made my life a lot easier. Thanks to JJ as well for helping put this together, the parking garage. The kids over at Amp Lab and Theo for coming through and doing a little workshop last Thursday for a couple of hours. That was great fun. I think we got some future muralists in that crowd, so watch that space. The mural itself is a variety of things. It's a tapestry of different elements. So starting off, we've got these kind of Polaroid pictures, photographs, which were taken from the factory across the way there, which I've kind of represented up on the wall. There's a bunch of them kind of interspersed. There's a bunch of natural elements, flowers and birds and species endemic to the area. I've also included a couple of photos from the Amp Lab of people doing whatever they do over there. Sorry, mosquito. And then kind of the next generation. So I've kind of made up some characters, some kids engaging in science, in electronics, in chemistry, and all these different things to try and illustrate that, look, all these histories. There to be celebrated, but there's also a future, amongst Fort Wayne, which is going to be doing beautiful things in the days to come. So, yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks for giving me a place to stay, and all the support to paint this mural. It's not for me at the end of the day. I like to think that I'm just kind of here to do the work, and then, the mural is yours. So, I tried to represent whatever aspirations you had of your town and whatever good things I could add to it. So yeah, thank you everyone for having me, and watch this space. I think we've probably got another 10 days left till it's done. So still a few more bits to fill in and some areas to paint, but one day at a time. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks, Damien. Yeah, it looks fantastic. Thanks so much for your hard work. This campus came to life a little over 2 years ago, and it's so exciting now to bring on the living aspect. So the live, work, learn, play, the live piece, we're finally now able to bring to the campus here with the opening of the Elix and the apartments that we're renting up currently. We really wanted the apartment living, as the mayor kind of described, to be a real diverse offering to reflect the diversity of what we offered on West Campus that's behind me. So we have a combination of units that are age restricted for those that are 55 and older. We have all ages building, we have affordable units, and we have market rate. We have all of these combined into one project, which is rather unique, not just in the market, but if you look nationally, you don't see this very often even throughout, because I'll be honest with you, it's not a real easy project to put together, both from the funding standpoint, but then also the dynamic in managing a project like this. But we're super excited to be able to bring this offering to Fort Wayne and to downtown living. And as she mentioned, we have this incredible amenities package that we'll be able to share with a few of you on the tour here a little bit later after the event. That's located over here in the building to my left. But we also have some finished units over here in the building to my right, that a model unit that we can take people through as well for the select. Also for the media and for the guests, we have some collateral here that we can hand out that speak to the apartment rents and the amenities offered. We do offer something rather unique in the market, is that all utilities except electricity are included in the rent that we're publicizing, which does include broadband. We know how much that can add up. And we do have some limited units still available where the parking is actually included. I hear from a lot of people that live downtown, and one of the things that is a challenge around downtown living is the fact that sometimes their parking is not real convenient, and they got to walk and carry their groceries. And what's really cool is that the parking is literally attached to your unit over here to my left. So we've got 5 floors of parking, and we've got access points on every level of the garage that lead directly into the apartment. So that's a really unique and great amenity and offering that we can have for folks here. So I'd like to just kind of wrap up by extending some real gratitude for the folks that have helped us bring this all together for phase 2 of Electric Works. And certainly the city of Fort Wayne was critical in both the capital stack and the funding to help us, and all the support that you've provided us, Mayor, and redevelopment. The city of Fort Wayne has been super supportive. I'd like to thank the Public Art Commission for helping us with the mural. The Downtown Trust was also very important in helping us fully maximize the utilization of some of the soft funds that came in to help this project work. One of our key investors is here with us today for M Squared. Camille, thank you for being here today, and thank you for investing in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I'd also like to thank the investor that purchased our tax credits that helped the affordable piece, which is our tenant and neighbor right here, the great company of Steel Dynamics. Thank you so much for helping us make this affordable component work with that investment. Our syndicator that helped us facilitate those credits is Merchants Capital out of Indianapolis. Thank you for being involved. And I'd really like to thank the Wygan team. You guys have done just a phenomenal job. Chris and team, fantastic. I mean, the project is coming along wonderfully, on budget, on time. The units that have been delivered so far, I've just got nothing but really, really high compliments of fit and finish of how they've turned out. So thanks, Wigand. I'd like to thank Indiana Tech for being now, first of all, the earliest commitment on a lease for us way back a half a decade ago. And now to see that come forward with how this is playing out with your involvement over here at Junction 36, we're super excited to get you guys on campus and kind of help fill in some of the activity going on here. And Alex, thank you so much. Alex Hall, again, thank you for helping lead this effort in terms of around the public art piece and being a support here for Damien while he's in town. So another few other thank yous. We do have a special set aside in the building to my right, specifically for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So we have a small number of units in this building where we specifically are able to offer units in a set aside. And thank you, Patty Hayes with the AWS Foundation and Benchmark for helping us connect to those tenants and being able to provide them with an incredible living experience here on campus. So thank you. And last but not least, thank you all for being here today that have interest in Electric Works Downtown. We're just super excited about this milestone that we've achieved. And I'd like to encourage all of you to stick around for lunch over here at Union Street Market.
In addition to investing in our arts here in Fort Wayne, education continues to be a top priority. And recently, Mayor Tucker took part in a special groundbreaking ceremony for a new project that will take place at Concordia Lutheran High School.
Will you pray with me? Gracious and almighty God, this is the day that you have made, and we rejoice to see how you are at work among us. For more than 90 years, you have blessed Concordia Lutheran High School with a mission to equip young people for lives of faith, service, and leadership. Today, as we break ground, we give you thanks for the vision, generosity, and partnership that has brought us to this moment. Bless this gathering, our leaders, our educational association, donors, faculty, students, and all who labor in this work. May every shovel of dirt turned today be a reminder that you are building something far greater than walls and foundations, that you are shaping lives for your kingdom. We ask for your protection over all who will work on this project and your continued provision as we boldly step forward in faith. In Jesus' holy name we pray. Amen. If you have a seat, you may be seated. Again, on behalf of Concordia Lutheran High School, thank you for joining us today. My name is Jacob Pennekamp. I have the privilege to serve as the head of school. On behalf of our school's administration, our board of directors, our faculty, staff, and students, we are, and I am, so grateful to be here with you today for such a long-awaited moment. Your presence and partnership makes this milestone even more meaningful. This afternoon, we'll have the opportunity to hear from City of Fort Wayne Mayor Sharon Tucker, Architectural Team Project Manager Brad Brunout of Schmidt Associates, Senior Vice President Real Estate Solutions Thomas Campbell from Lutheran Church Extension Fund. Today is about so much more than turning soil. It is a defining moment in our Concordia's 90-plus year legacy. Since our founding in 1935, this school has stood as a place where Christ is honored, where young people are equipped to grow in faith, knowledge, and service. And now as we step into the next century of ministry, we do so with the confidence in God's promises and with gratitude for all who walk alongside of us. This moment is made possible because God has provided abundantly more than we imagined through the generosity of many, and many of you who are present today. You have helped us reach the starting gate, taking the first bold step. It echoes the call of the disciple Peter, who stepped out of the boat in faith to walk on water towards Jesus. Like him, we are moving forward not by our own strength, but by trusting in the Lord who leads and sustains the way. Our capital campaign, A Bold Step, is more than about bricks and mortar. It's a vision to equip Concordia to serve future generations of students with excellence in Christ-centered education. It's about creating inspiring spaces where young people encounter the gospel, discover their gifts, and are prepared to live lives of faithful service here in time and with faith for eternity. By God's grace, we've made extraordinary and remarkable progress. Together, we have already raised $22 million towards our $34 million goal. I am deeply grateful. Yes. I am deeply grateful to the many private donors, alumni, and supporting congregations, and especially our partners at the Lutheran Foundation and the Mary Cross Tittman Foundation, who both have representation here today, for their generous leadership. Without your early, bold steps, we'd still be in the boat. Yet there remains work ahead. Our goal is to raise the remaining $12 million to ensure that we can complete the full vision for this campaign. And I invite our entire community to continue to walk with us. What makes this effort extraordinary is that every single dollar comes from private contributions. This truly is a community-led initiative, a testament to the love and commitment of those who believe in Concordia's mission and have a spirit-led heart towards extraordinary generosity. As we break ground today, we look to the future with hope and determination, trusting that God will use this project to bless countless students, families, and our community for generations to come. And we are honored to have Mayor Sharon Tucker with us today. Mayor Tucker, I invite you forward for a few words.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Hi, Tony. I can share with you that I am very, very excited about the opportunity that exists here. When they came to me and shared the vision that they have, the city was extremely excited because we recognize the importance of making sure that we continue to invest in education, that we continue to teach paths for our young adults to be able to have sound education, quality environments, and great buildings to be able to come to and learn and be comfortable in. We also recognize the importance of spiritual leadership and spiritual education for them. So the city said, you know what, we support your mission, and in fact, we will donate you the street so that we can vacate that and you can expand and make the project, the whole project of what you want. And we were honored to be able to do that. I'm also honored to stand before you, and I would be a horrible wife if I did not mention my husband, who is an alumni of Concordia. In fact, he graduated in 1980, but if you talk to him today, you would think he graduated last year. He loves Concordia and absolutely is excited about the opportunity that exists right here. So from our family to all of yours, we are thankful to be able to stand with you, thankful for the city to be able to have you investing in our community and investing in our students' future growth. And we can't wait to be able to cut the ribbon on the final product. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Brad Burdett with Schmidt Associates. We're very excited to be here today. It's a little intimidating talking after the mayor. First thing I want to do is thank you, Concordia Lutheran High School, for the trust in Schmidt Associates, for allowing us to lead them in the design process for the new addition and renovation of this building. When we started back 18 months ago with Concordia, the first thing we talked about was transparency in design. So we met with the board of directors, administration staff, facilities, teachers, parents, public, to get input, so that everyone felt involved in the process, and it really created the product that we're moving forward with today. So just a few highlights of some of the spaces that'll be new to this building, or improved in this building. Classrooms. So we're going to have air conditioning in the classrooms. Everyone excited about air conditioning in the classrooms? New finishes, new technology. We're improving the circulation and safety of the students with connecting all floors of the academic wing with the activities wing. There's going to be a new two-story media hub that's really going to be the heartbeat of that portion of the building, with views from multiple floors into that space, and you'll really feel the activity there. The chapel and the auditorium, that's really exciting. The new finishes in there, new seating. Who's excited for new seats in the auditorium? The The whole interior of that space is going to be changed so that we can improve it for accessibility and for acoustics. So it's going to be a really awesome space when we're done. We couldn't have done all this without an awesome project team. So I want to thank Jacob Pennekamp and Pat Fairking for facilitating all the conversations we've had over the past few months. I also want to thank LCEF for being a trusted advisor to the owner. It's hard to make all those decisions, but when you have a partner there, it's a lot easier. Also want to thank FCI for the discussions we've had on construction, so making this next phase of the project go a lot smoother. So we're excited for the next 24 months to see what we've drawn on paper kind of transform into real life. This is an exciting time for Concordia Lutheran High School, and we're really happy to be a part of it. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tom Campbell from the Lutheran Church Extension Fund. It's such a blessing to be here with you today on this very special occasion, the groundbreaking for the next chapter in the life of Concordia Lutheran High School. On behalf of the Lutheran Church Extension Fund, I bring greetings, encouragement, and deep gratitude for what God is doing here in Fort Wayne. At LCEF, our mission is simple but profound. We exist to support the work of Lutheran congregations, schools, and ministries that they may boldly proclaim the gospel for generations to come. Through faithful investors and partners, we provide resources that help turn vision into reality. Whether that's a new sanctuary or, as we celebrate today, expanding the opportunities for Christian education, few places embody the importance of that mission more clearly than Concordia Lutheran High School. More than 3 years ago, I met Jacob and listened to the concerns and saw the facility that had grown tired. Since then, a vision has taken shape, and through the hard work of dedicated volunteers, faculties, and partners like Schmidt and FCI, and many others, we've arrived at this groundbreaking moment. What makes today so exciting is not only the physical expansion, but the spiritual impact it represents. Every new space built here becomes a place where young people hear about Jesus, where a teacher guides a student in both wisdom and faith, and where the next generation of leaders is formed to carry Christ's light into the world. We at LCF count it a privilege to walk alongside Concordia on this journey. We are inspired by the dedication of parents, teachers, the board of directors, pastors, and supporters who believe in the transformative power of Lutheran education. Most of all, we give thanks to God, who is the true foundation of all we build, and whose blessings make days like this possible. Thank you, and may God bless Concordia Lutheran High School, the Fort Wayne community, and all who support the mission of Lutheran education.
As you can tell, we have been blessed by outstanding partnerships. And again, I want to thank FCI and the entire FCI team for your leadership and guidance along the way. We needed to find a partner who had the ability to be patient at times with us. And we're grateful for that. We're thankful for Lutheran Church Extension Fund. As Tom mentioned, we had a candid and difficult conversation about our reality about 3 years ago. But they've walked with us along that journey. And certainly Schmidt Associates and Brad have just been professional and brought their expertise to each of our problems. I also need to just admit that I didn't invent this 3 years ago. If you are a former or current board member of our Concordia Educational Association or Concordia Educational Foundation, would you just raise your hand? And let's add to that, before you start clapping, if you served on one of the many search or study committees over the last 2 decades, would you please raise your hand? Right, so that's more than like 2/3 of the crowd has labored at for this moment for probably 2 decades. And I often speak about this, walking into a role like this, I have the privilege of standing on the shoulders of giants. And I thank you for your work. I thank you for your leadership to get us to this point, because we most certainly would not be here if you had not labored and God had not allowed for that labor to lead us to the moment we stand in today. So for all of you who walked so closely with us and labored on this long and winding journey that began long before my leadership, today is a day to be celebrated and a remarkable moment for the Concordia family, and an accumulation of an incredible amount of work. What we celebrate today here is a visible sign of God's faithfulness and the shared commitment of so many who believe in the mission of Concordia Lutheran High School. And so again, on behalf of our high school, I want to thank you for your generous commitment from donors, for the time and effort of campaign and steering committee leaders, our association pastors who so graciously encourage me along the way in the walk that I take in leadership, our delegates, current and former board members, our construction partners, community leaders who are here with us today, and especially Mayor Tucker. Your presence today reminds us that this community not only values Concordia, but needs Concordia. We're grateful also to be a long-standing neighbor and an anchor property on the North Anthony Corridor. We're grateful to have planted our flag here, and hopefully this investment shows how much we want to be here. We cherish our partnership with local institutions like Ivy Tech, PFW, IU Fort Wayne, and especially the Lutheran schools of Northeast Indiana. This project, I hope, is a bold statement that Concordia will continue to step forward and be a leader for Christian education, preparing young people for faithful Christian citizenship. And now, with what will be facilities that match the excellence of our programming and better meet the requirements of our mission, we can look ahead with confidence and hope for the generations to come. But as exciting as this moment is, and Brad teased talking about the auditorium seating and renovations and expanded space for fine arts, this is just the beginning. The shovel in the ground should remind us of the work still ahead, not just the construction happening behind our building, but the work we still need to reach our full campaign goal. We are deeply grateful for the outpouring of generosity thus far that the Lord has provided, and now we look to the entire Concordia family and many in the community who are yet to join us to help us finish strong and ensure that this chapel auditorium becomes a reality. Our campaign, again, is called Bold Step for a reason. Together we are investing in the next generation of Christian leaders, young men and women who will leave this place ready to serve the world with courage, excellence, and faith. That mission is what has sustained Concordia for 91 years, and it is the mission that gives us hope for the next century. And as we conclude, I encourage you to stay engaged. Visit our campaign website, cadetsboldstep.org, to see updates, renderings, and opportunities to continue to be part of this vision. Over the next 2 months, we will be hosting at least 24 impact meetings here at Concordia and at many of our association congregations. These meetings will help our community learn more about the impact Concordia makes, but also the impact that individual stakeholders can make in our future. It's imperative. We cannot do this alone, and we can't do this on the shoulders of one or a small group of people. But it's imperative that everyone in the Concordia family knows and understands the urgency and the opportunity. So please advocate and encourage others to engage by attending these meetings. And don't just send them, come along with them to the meetings. And we will host these meetings both in person and virtually. Again, the schedule and RSVP can be found at cadetsboldstep.org. And if you don't find a meeting you can attend, let Matt and I know. We'll schedule another one.